Me pide usted dos palabras. Diré algunas ideas mías sobre la invención o inventos. El aparato que usted manipula es maravilloso porque reproduce la figura movible al mismo tiempo que emite el sonido de la voz. Cuando con el tiempo se perfeccione este invento, el mundo quedará sorprendido ante los cuadros vivientes y parlantes que ello exhibirá sobre el tiempo. La ciencia ha acrecentado el paso acelerado de los adelantos modernos. Por medio de la ciencia conservamos la salud e inclusive devolvemos la juventud a los que le han perdido. La ciencia también ha impulsado los inventos que se dirigen a la destrucción del hombre por el hombre. Estas dos tendencias contrarias todavía nos dicen que la cantidad de la animalidad en nosotros es muy grande. ¿Cuándo podía la ciencia perfeccionar aparatos que reformen y regeneren a los hombres? ¿Cuándo podrá nuestra humanidad decir que va camino de la perfección moral, de la fraternidad de todos los hombres, de todos los pueblos, de todas las razas y de todos los credos?
Compatriotas, nosotros, los que hemos consagrado cuanto tenemos y cuanto somos para el bienestar y la libertad de nuestro país, pronto pasaremos al mundo de los que han sido. Nuestra obra no está terminada. Es vuestro deber continuarla. Pensad siempre que sois filipinos, que Filipinas es vuestra patria y la única patria que Dios os ha dado, que tenéis que conservarla para vosotros, para vuestros hijos y los hijos de vuestros hijos. Filipinas tiene un sublime pasado y un grandioso porvenir. Su pasado está consagrado por los sacrificios de nuestros mártires y soldados. Su presente está honrada por la devoción a su causa de una generación patriota. Su futuro será tan grande como queráis hacerlo. Veo en el porvenir a Filipinas con su frente erguida en medio del océano Pacífico, llevando en la mano la antorcha de la democracia y de la libertad. Una república próspera y feliz, de mujeres y hombres virtuosos y libres, amantes de la justicia y de la orden, trabajando juntos por mejorar la suerte de toda la humanidad.
To come to the United States, I had to make a trip on the sea, under the water, and in the air. And I started that long, perilous trip with Captain Berkeley of New York, who defied several Japanese destroyers and took me through those waters safely to Mindanao. The Filipinos have fought heroically side by side with the American soldier against overwhelming odds. And today, after Bataan and Corregidor have surrendered, they are still fighting and will continue to fight until complete victory shall have been achieved.
Ika-14 ng Oktubre, taong 1943, isang taong singkad, buhat noon hanggang ngayon, na naitayo natin ang bagong Republika ng Pilipinas sa hirap na ito na dinadanas ng ating bayan. Nahanda ako na magpatuloy sa daang makikita ninyo na aking inilalagda sa pamamagitan ng tulong ng aking mga kasamahan sa pamahalaan upang tunay, maging wagas, maging dalisay sa gitna ng isang digmang ngayon idinadaos sa isang sinuko, sa gitna ng kagutuman, sa gitna ng kamatayan, sapagkat ang kamatayan may matamis katulad ng itinuro ng ating mga bayani kung iya'y magbubunga ng isang pag-asa at ng isang adahikain pinagpakamatayan nila.
I am conscious of the tremendous responsibility that is mine as I assume the presidency of the Philippines. I pledge all that is in me to serve the best interests of the Filipino people. My first objective is to cooperate with the American government, sparing nothing for the achievement of victory, which means the complete liberation of the Philippines. Philippine relief and rehabilitation is one of our pressing problems. I have faith in America and in the American people, and as in the past, I know the United States will keep faith with us. The freedom of the Filipino people is my goal, and that the permanence of that independence once achieved, I will strive to secure. And to you, Mr. Commissioner, sir, I thank you very much for your presence here and for your fine congratulations. We are not afraid of them, Mr. Commissioner, but we do need some help in getting back on our feet. We need immediate relief and financial assistance to tide us over. Most of all, we need a close trade relationship with the United States.
The Filipinos are grateful and have a deep affection for America. Although the color of our skin is brown, the temper of our minds and our beliefs is almost identical with yours. The Philippines, in government system and tradition, is a replica in miniature of the United States. That has been transplanted to a land 10,000 miles across the seas, the seed of American democracy. If a prosperous and free democracy can be built in the Philippines upon the ruins of war, the prestige of America and the American way of life will be raised to towering heights, and the millions of people of the Far East will look to us and to you as their models.
Deseo aprovechar esta ocasión del retorno de mi hija de su viaje a España para testimoniar mi honda gratitud al gobierno y pueblo españoles por la hospitalidad magnánima, por el cálido recibimiento y por los honores a ella dispensados. La legendaria galantería hispana ha rebasado sus límites, dando al mundo la más hermosa lección de diplomacia, porque toca al corazón. Nada halaga tanto mi vanidad de padre y jefe ejecutivo de la nación como el pensar que el tránsito fugaz de mi hija por tierras españolas ha sido la chispa que ha encendido la hoguera que ha de alumbrar el destino de los dos pueblos.
My countrymen, you have called upon me to assume the highest office within your gift. I accept the trust humbly and gratefully. My sole determination is to be president for the people.
I go home to the Philippines treasuring in my memory all this kindness, all this courtesy, all this helps and assistance. I've enjoyed my stay in Washington, the capital city of the free world, and I look forward some other day to renew these valuable friendships that I have made during this short stay in this country.
That the martial law regime of Marcos was nothing but an ill-disguised plot to perpetuate himself in power, and he and or his wife and son by consolidating the political and economic resources of the country under his control. And the reporters of the New York Times and the New Yorker found that a primary means of enrichment of those in the government is public works or more. in which, according to these periodicals, many of the contractors are friends of the Marcoses and serve as fronts in elaborate syndicates for them, their associates, friends, and relatives, including the relatives of Mrs. Marcos, and that some of these constructions are owned or controlled by them, their relatives and friends.
Thank you very much, President Reagan. Mrs. Reagan, members of the Cabinet, distinguished guests, my friends, on behalf of the 50 million people of the Philippines, Mrs. Marcos and I express our gratitude for your warm welcome to Washington and to the United States of America. This great and beautiful city, that is one of the few cities that was built as the capital for a great nation, is indeed, as has been written, the key to knowing the secret of America. And this house of the American people, an American frontier that never vanishes. Your beautiful city with its grand memorials, its monuments, its walks, is indeed a city that memorializes the great achievements of your people for the past 2 centuries. But more than that, it keeps offering to the enterprising and the talented, the courageous and the strong, the rewards of effort and of initiative. At the same time, as I stand here on American soil, I realize that I stand on what may be the center of the government of the United States of America, here where, as I have often stated, the future is being born.
Mr. Speaker, Senator Thurmond, distinguished members of Congress. 3 years ago, I left America in grief to bury my husband, Ninoy Aquino. I thought I had left it also to lay to rest his restless dream of Philippine freedom. Today, I have returned as the president of a free people. In burying Ninoy, a whole nation honored him by that brave and selfless act of giving honor. A nation in shame recovered its own. A country that had lost faith in its future found it in a faithless and brazen act of murder. So in giving we receive, in losing we find, and out of defeat we snatched our victory. For the nation, Ninoy became the pleasing sacrifice that answered their prayers for freedom. For myself and our children, Ninoy was a loving husband and father. His loss 3 times in our lives was always a deep and painful one. 14 years ago this month was the first time we lost him. A president turned dictator and traitor to his oath, suspended the Constitution and shut down the Congress that was much like this one, before which I am honored to speak.
Sa loob ng nakalipas na 74 na taon, 11 pinunong Pilipino ang tumindig at naging bahagi ng ganitong seremonya ng ating demokrasya. na nagpapahiwatig sa ating mahal na Republika ng makabuluhang pagpatuloy at isang panibagong simula. Ang kabanalan ng okasyong ito at ang panunumpa ng Pangulo ng Bansa ay isang paglingon sa nakaraan at pagharap sa kinabukasan. Ang kagitingan at katapatan ni dating Pangulong Corazon C. Aquino
Noong Mayo 11, mahigit na 10 milyong Pilipino ang nagdesisyon ng pamunuan natin sa bansa patungo sa bagong milenyo. Ngayon sila ang nagtatanong, ano ba ang gagawin ng bagong pamunuan ito upang ihatid ang ating bansa sa bagong siglo. Today, I stand before you with an accounting of the present and with a roadmap for our future. Paano ba tayo itatawid sa krisis na nakabalot sa ating ekonomiya? Nasaan na ba tayo ngayon? Saan ba tayo nanggaling? At saan ba tayo patutungo?
Vice President De Castro and the other officials of the Philippine government, Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished delegates, thank you all for coming together for a cause that is important to my country and to yours, namely the nexus between migration and development. This is a cause especially dear to the hearts of millions of Filipinos here and overseas who are interconnected through a vast diaspora of expatriate workers. Migrant workers are honored by the government and the people for their sacrifice and dedication to their work, their family, and the nation. We welcome their contribution. But we long for the day when going abroad for a job is a career option, not the only choice for a Filipino worker.
Ang pagtitipon natin ngayong umaga ay isang pagkakataon para higit na masuri ang lakas at kahinaan ng ating kasalukuyang criminal justice system at makalikom ng mga makabago at napapanahong inisyatibang pangkatarungan. Masasabi nating napapanahon ito dahil sa mga araw-araw na headlines sa dyaryo at telebisyon, nasasaksihan din ngayon ng buong bansa kung gaano kasalimut ang trabaho ng mga clerk of court, abogado at huwes. Walang duda sa halaga ng inyong trabaho. Ang inyong mga desisyon at takbang ay may makabuluhang implikasyon sa ating pong demokrasya. Dahil dito, mahalagang balikan natin ang nakasaad sa Artikulo 2, Seksyon 1 ng ating saligang batas. Ang ganap na kapangyarihan ay nasa sambayanan at ang lahat na kapangyarihang pampamahalaan ay nagmumula sa kanila. Minabuti ko pong ipaalala ito sa inyo dahil minsan sa ating kasaysayan, tila nakalimutan natin ito. Noong panahon ng batas militar, hindi nakatuon ang katarungan para sa kapakanan ng taong bayan.
No leader, however strong, can succeed at anything of national importance or significance unless he has the support and cooperation of the people he is tasked to lead and sworn to serve. It is the people from whom democratic governments draw strength, and this administration is no exception. That is why we have to listen to the murmurings of the people, fear their pulse, supply their needs, and fortify their faith and trust in us whom they elected to public office. There are many amongst us who advance the assessment that the problems that bedevil our country today which need to be addressed with urgency are corruption, both in the high and low echelons of government.
Mr. President, Excellencies, I am Ferdinand Marcos, and I am the President of the Republic of the Philippines. I stand today on behalf of 110 million Filipinos. At this time of crisis and opportunity, I bring with me the spirit of their enduring commitment to the ideals of our United Nations. This commitment is reflected in our solid contributions to the cause of peace and of justice. By shepherding the Manila Declaration of 1982, we helped affirm that differences should only be resolved through peaceful means. By reinforcing the predictability and stability of international law, particularly the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, we provided an example of how states should resolve their differences through reason and through right.